Breaking news this afternoon, rescue teams locate a youth soccer team missing for more than a week in a cave in northern Thailand. And several children are hurt after a man starts stabbing people at a young child's birthday party.
This is News 3 at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 on this Monday. We have good news to report out of Thailand this afternoon. Members of a missing youth soccer team and their coach have been found alive. The boys range in age from 11 to 16. They've been missing in a cave for 9 days. There's no word on how they're doing, but we'll have an update for you on this rescue later today on Live at 4. And a heat wave is creating dangerous conditions across much of the United States. The Northeast broke several records over the weekend as temperatures in that region are expected to remain in the 90s today. San Francisco also reached record-setting temperatures over the weekend. More than 50 million Americans are under excessive heat warnings, and the heat wave is expected to continue as the 4th of July holiday approaches. We also saw heat this past weekend, but things are feeling a little better today. In fact, let's head over to the Weather Center meteorologist Dave Caulfield joins us now. Yeah, a little better than this past weekend.
Yeah, exactly. We had that severe weather yesterday, and the cold front actually helped our humidity just a little bit outside. And right now, we are looking at pretty nice conditions across southern Wisconsin. Live look in Madison at very sunny skies. On the WISC-TV Skycam, currently at 79 degrees, but that dew point, folks, below 60 for the first time in a very long time. For many of us, a west-southwest wind at 6 miles per hour. Temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s. It's going to be another very warm day, but it will feel comparatively better outside. Dew points in the 50s for some of us, but also getting back into the mid to upper 60s across southwestern Wisconsin. Usually, they like to get the humidity a little bit faster than us in Madison. So that's a big dew point change, about 15 to 20 degrees less humid outside. Heat index values right about 80 degrees for most of us. So temperatures and winds over the next 12 hours, we will reach highs in the mid 80s. It could feel like the low 90s for some of us, but really that heat and humidity comes back just in time for Independence Day. We'll talk more about that. And also if we can expect any showers and storms on July 4th in your first alert forecast.
Back to the 90s.
Yes.
All right, enjoy today.
Yes.
All right, Dave, we'll check back in a few minutes. 3 dozen fire departments are helping put out a fire at a recycling plant in Racine County. 2 firefighters are recovering from heat exhaustion. The plant's in the town of Norway. It caught fire yesterday. No one from the plant was injured. Firefighters say the fire is burning thousands of pounds of baled trash, and it could take days before it's all put out. Wisconsin residents have a few hours left to apply for the state's child tax rebate. The rebate is $100 per child for kids under 18 as of December 31st of last year. Democrats have accused Walker of setting up the rebate and a 5-day sales tax holiday in August as nothing more than election year bribes. We have information on how to file a claim online at channel3000.com. President Trump plans to announce his pick for the United States Supreme Court in a week. Interviews of top candidates will start sometime this week. The president has been courting key senators looking for votes to support his choice to replace retiring Justice Anthony Kennedy. Among them, Republican Senator Susan Collins, who drew a line on the issue of abortion rights. The president says he will not ask potential nominees on their views about Roe versus Wade, but Democrats point out the president will have that information without asking.
A candidate for this important position who would overturn Roe v. Wade would not be acceptable to me.
He doesn't need to ask that question because those nominees on his list have already been screened by the Federalist Society and the Heritage Foundation and other outside groups.
The Trump administration is focusing on a list of 5 to 7 potential candidates. CBS News has learned that D.C. Circuit Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh and Chicago Circuit Court Judge Amy Coney Barrett are currently the leading contenders. The man accused of stabbing 9 people, including 6 children at a birthday party in Idaho, expected in court today. The injured children are between the ages of 13 years old, are between 3 and 13 years old. The girl whose birthday it was, a 3-year-old, is one of those seriously injured. 3 adults were also injured. The attack happened Saturday at an apartment complex that is home to many refugees. Police say the suspect is not a refugee himself and had been staying at the complex for a short time, but was kicked out the day before because of his behavior. Several of those hurt remain in critical condition.
faces of the parents struggling, the tears coming down their faces, the faces of the children in the hospital beds will be something that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life.
The victims include members of refugee families from Syria, Iraq, and Ethiopia. A vigil will be held tonight. Several Americans are back in the United States after surviving a deadly tour boat explosion in the Bahamas. 12 people, including 10 tourists, were on the boat when it blew up Saturday. One American woman died in the explosion. The U.S. Coast Guard flew 4 survivors to Florida. 5 people remain in a hospital in the Bahamas. Police in the Bahamas are trying to figure out what caused the explosion. The celebrating continues in Russia today after the country's biggest World Cup win in decades. Russia's national team advanced to the quarterfinals after beating Spain in a penalty shootout. Russia typically has strict laws against unsanctioned public gatherings, but they were suspended for the World Cup celebrations. Streets in Moscow transformed in areas for fans to party. This year's World Cup is being held in Russia, making the win extra special. And LeBron James is leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers to join the Los Angeles Lakers. The 4-time MVP signed a 4-year, $154 million contract last night with the Western Conference team. In an Instagram post, James thanked Northeast Ohio for an incredible 4 seasons that included taking the Cavs to the NBA Finals the last 4 years and winning the area's first professional championship in more than 50 years. There's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
It's National Ice Cream Month, and things are really starting to heat up in the freezer aisle. Stick around, and you'll understand why. It's July, and you know what that means? It's National Ice Cream Month. Yup, an entire month devoted to all the fun and goodness that grocery store ice cream cases are packed with. There's everything from ice cream novelties to Italian ices and classic flavors of our scoopable favorites. Today, we're sharing a recipe for an ice cream creation that features everything but the kitchen sink. We start by lining a springform pan with some coarsely crushed sugar cones. This will be our crust. Over that, we spoon about a quart of our favorite ice cream, frozen yogurt, or gelato. Now, even though this might sound a bit odd, we place a handful of ice cream novelties over this. You can use everything from fudge-filled ice cream cones and ice cream sandwiches to frozen candy bar treats. Anything goes, as long as it doesn't have a stick in it. Now we'll pack some ice cream around all of these and top that with another layer of creamy goodness. And if that isn't enough, we'll garnish this with even more of our favorite novelties, along with some whipped topping and cherries. To get the recipe for our crazy good ice cream cake, just visit our website. And with all the sales going on, there's no better time than right now to stock up. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an ice cream lover's way for you to say, "Ooh, it's so good."
Really, Howard? Less is more sometimes. Coming up, Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company joins us in a few minutes to take your plant and garden questions. And the heat is starting to break a bit in southern Wisconsin, but how long until the heat returns? Dave joins us after the break with the first alert forecast. Our call for action phone bank is open right now, ready to take on your consumer issue. You can call our hotline. Volunteers will help you with any consumer complaints. 608-270-2833. The service is open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11 and 1. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial is down 118 points. The NASDAQ off about 17 and a half. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee out of the radio barn today. So here are your ag numbers. All right, it's summertime. You expect temperatures in the 80s, right?
Yeah, exactly. We can definitely deal with this, especially if dew points stay down. That's the important thing. If we don't have that humidity, especially like we had over the weekend, I think we can get through the next couple of days pretty easily. So as we take a look at visible cloud track, not a lot of clouds visiting us. We had severe storms on Saturday and Sunday. A couple tornado warnings even on Sunday, but for today, a lot quieter. We're looking at lots of sunshine in downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. The almanac for today, highs should reach the mid-80s, which is about 5 degrees above normal for this time of year. So not too bad outside, but again, the important thing, folks, is that dew point. It will start to come up again as we head into later Tuesday and for the 4th of July, so a little bit more humid for the 4th of July, and also a chance of some showers and storms. It is a slight chance, and I think it will happen in the afternoon and evening if it does happen at all, so those fireworks should be okay. If you're planning on grilling over the next couple of days, tonight and tomorrow looking very nice and still pretty nice on the 4th of July. Again, that slight chance of showers takes us from 4 grills to 3. Very scientific index, that grill cast. Temperatures right now are in the upper 70s and low 80s across the area. 79 in Madison and in Janesville, 80 in Lone Rock and 82 in Boscobel. Dew points, though, that's the big story, especially in Madison. We are below 60 degrees on the dew point scale for the first time in quite some time. A little bit more humid, closer to Mineral Point and Lone Rock, where dew points are in the mid to upper 60s. High temperatures, though, we're not looking at 60s. We're still looking at mid to upper 80s and low 90s as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. That humidity comes up for July 4th, so it could feel like the triple digits at times for the middle of this week. The weekend, though, looking cooler. We get rescued by a cold front. Future track showing things staying quiet over the next couple of days, maybe a couple of showers closer to Illinois and Indiana on Tuesday, but I don't think they'll make it into the great state of Wisconsin. Now, Wednesday, that could be a little bit of a different story for July 4th, and that would actually be significant if we did get some rain on July 4th, because we've actually gone 13 straight years without seeing any rain, or at least 12 straight years, if I can count. This would be the 13th if we don't get rain. Last year on July 4th, we were at 83 degrees. It would be the warmest July 4th since 2012, when we had our record high for July 4th of 102, our record low 44 set back in 1972. And our record rainfall about 1.5 inches back in 1994, so about 15 years ago. Now, future track heat index, not too bad today, only feeling like the upper 80s, maybe some low 90s in the more humid spots. As we head into tomorrow, though, we will start to feel more like the low to mid 90s, and into Wednesday already feeling like the mid 90s by the time we get to the lunch hour. So we could feel like the upper 90s, close to 100 degrees. On Wednesday and Thursday. Things do get better, though, as we head into the weekend. That cold front knocks our temperatures down, knocks our humidity down. We'll be in the low 80s on Friday into Saturday, but then the storm chances do come back as we head into next week and the end of that weekend, with temperatures in the upper 80s on Monday, with some more storm and shower chances coming our way as well. But not bad overall. This looked a lot worse, I think, this time last week. So we'll definitely take the next couple of days with that sunshine. Should be pretty nice outside.
Yeah. It's been a hot summer, though.
Yes.
So far.
Pretty hot.
And it seems to continue in the 80s.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Dave. Now's the time to call in with your plant and garden questions. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here at 270-9933, the number to call. She'll take your calls right after the break. Lisa Briggs is here from the Roots Company, taking your calls at 270-9933. Time to maybe fill some holes in the garden.
I know. People always forget that, you have the glorious May garden or early June, and then everything kind of goes, ugh, because you forget. So there are lots of things, though, that are blooming now. Astilbe, phlox, daylilies, other kinds of lilies. Heuchera's got really good color. That's a coral bell without flowers, but good color from the foliage. So, yeah, time to find some holes and put some new summer color in there.
I have a lot of them. All right, let's go to the phones. We will start with Kim in Janesville. Hi, Kim.
Hello.
Hi, what's your question?
Yeah, can I still plant morning glories? Because I'm moving into a new house, and I don't know if it's too late now.
She wants to know if she can still plant morning
Yeah,
glories.
I heard the part of it. Sorry, I forgot to put the earpiece in.
You're new at this.
It's a little late for morning glories. So sometimes some of the garden centers might have some that are already potted up, but you wouldn't get very many flowers on them because of the heat. And
So plant them in the spring.
plant them in the spring, but maybe check with the garden centers and see if they've got some annual ones that are already potted up.
Okay, let's go to Levon in Bagley. Hi, what's your question?
Hi. I just lost my very old Christmas cactus. It started looking wilty way back around Thanksgiving. The buds came on, they never opened, and now the main stems have just gotten soft and the whole thing died. I don't want it to happen to my others. Can you tell me why?
Sometimes Christmas cactus, although they don't really like being repotted, sometimes the soil just gets depleted. So on your other ones, if they've been in the pot for a while, just take them out, kind of loosen up any of that dried soil, and then put new soil in there, put them right back in the pots. You don't want to do a lot of disturbing, but old soil will get really condensed and it won't hold the moisture.
Okay. And there's a lifespan to these plants?
And all plants have a lifespan,
Sure.
certainly.
They don't last forever.
Yes.
Betty in Madison. Hi, Betty.
Hi. I was wondering if one should cut the stalk and flowers off of hostas or not. They are pretty, and butterflies and things come to eat out of them, even hummingbirds. However, I've heard that if you cut them off, the leaves would get fuller.
That's not necessarily true, although I do know people that hate hosta flowers and cut the stalks off as soon as they see them coming. You don't have to,
What's
though.
the problem, people?
I know. Some of them are quite fragrant. So if you like the way they look and they're attracting some pollinators, then go ahead and leave them. Then take them back after they're done flowering. But it doesn't do anything to how the plant is doing. I just know that there are people that hate the flowers.
Come on.
They're not horrible.
I love them.
They're not exactly very exciting, but they're not horrible.
Donna in Middleton. Hi, Donna.
Hello.
Hi, which question?
Yes, I have Stella de Oro lilies, which are supposed to bloom all summer. Right now, they're in full bloom, but what usually happens after the first bloom is they just fade out. What can I do to keep them to continue blooming all summer?
You want to make sure that you remove those flower stalks as they finish up, because that's a trigger for the plant to send up new stalks. It won't be as lush as it is right now, but it'll continue to send up stalks, flower buds here and there for the next 3 or 4 weeks, but remove the ones that are spent.
All right, let's go to Ginny in Monona. Hi, Ginny.
Hi, welcome back, Mark. We missed
Thank you. It's great to be back. What's your question?
I have a Christmas cactus. It's a great big one. I got it from my aunt. My aunt got it from her mother-in-law, and it's like, I couldn't even guess about how old it is, because that's how long, I've had it for 3 years, and my aunt had it till she got so bad. And how often should you pot those? And it also blooms a lot of times even in the summer.
Well, you're pretty lucky, Ginny. They don't love being repotted, at least up potted. But if it's really old and you notice that when you water it, the water runs right through it, you might want to lift it and put some new soil in there and then just put it right back in that pot.
Well, that's a longevity on that
It
one.
sounds like it's doing beautifully,
Yeah, it
though.
does. All right, we are out of time. You're on the line. Stay there. Lisa will talk to you off the air. Have a good 4th of July.
You as well.
We will see you next time. And here's Dave with one final check of the forecast.
The weather is looking pretty nice for today and tomorrow. Temperatures right around 80 this afternoon so far. Highs should make it into the mid-80s. Partly sunny, a little bit humid, but plenty of sunshine and not as humid outside. Your forecast first for the rest of this afternoon. Temperatures will dip into the 60s tomorrow. Another nice day on the way Tuesday. Could have some showers and storms on the way for July 4th.
All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.